The enviable or dubious distinction of being a visual effects designer is that when you do a movie that's 2 years long, if you simply rely on technology that exists when you begin the film to execute the visuals in that movie, the movie will be obsolete long before you're even halfway through production. So what you need to do is you have to go with all of the wildest concepts, simply figure out a way, the best way that you can, to bring that stuff to the screen and assume that you will find the technology to make it work. The difference between this movie, the second movie that we're working on, and the first movie is we went through this process of invention. We had to bring this superhero and this higher persona, we had to empower him. In other words, you had to feel as if you and the audience understood what it was like to be an individual who could swing from the top of a building, land on the sidewalk, and go over and punch out some guy who was lifting some poor old lady's handbag.
You know, on the first Spider-Man, when I first started doing it, the first time I had him jump off the ground, 30 feet in the air to a wall, my first reaction was, this will never work. You have to go into a different world. You have to change your mindset to work with it. But it's hard to get there in the beginning because you're so attached to the physical world and how believable this character can be. And I've always said that we have to make that character incredible, but not unbelievable.
Knees have to bend more, arms have to flex more, muscles become larger. You move in a different way, center of mass moves differently in order to make it believable that this guy jumped off this 100-foot tall building and landed on the ground and walked away. So if you present a character in a comic book sense that does something like that, and you simply use human capabilities, the example would be to have a stuntman jump off a 10-foot high platform onto a pad and then simply take the way he lands, much in the sense that they use motion capture, and apply that to our CGI character, you know right away, you smell something is wrong with it. None of us are familiar with superhero body language. You have to interpret.
One of the challenges of being the producer on this show was you got a script and you did a breakdown, and then you got a new script and you did a new breakdown, and so on and so on. A lot of plot development points changed, dialogue changed a lot, but the basic heart of the story was always in the script, the early script that I got. Certainly
all the action sequences, it's described in a script, but it's never played out the way that you can do it in pre-visualization, in a storyboard, and that's where we come in. And John and I get together and come up with different ideas and throw those at Sam, and that's what we do through the whole movie, is just keep coming up with new ideas and try to throw at him 10 different suggestions on how this action could take place to give him something to pick from.
We had a fixed resource. I know nobody thinks there's a fixed resource here, but it is a fixed resource. An example would be we might have had 800 storyboards for the train sequence, which had to become 150 storyboards. And each of the sequences always are boarded long, and they're always winnowed down. So the picture started very big and started being compressed into its essential storytelling components.
A lot of the decisions about when to do CG, when to do stunts, when to do the real actor were hashed out in storyboard meetings at the start of filming.
There's obvious stuff mostly where there's safety issues or there are inherent risks that they're not going to put actors through, in particular the principals for sure.
What the actor can't do, a stuntman does, and what a stuntman can't do, the CG model does.
There's some stuff that just can't be accomplished any other way. Spider-Man swinging through the city 20 or 30 stories up. There's not really another way to accomplish that.
Hopefully one feathers into the other, blends into the other in ways where you aren't taken out of the picture, in the sense that you still believe it's the same actor going through the motions.